Hi, in this video, we'll look at config forms. Click on the last tab, click on config form. Here, you can add a new form. So you can just call this form as city details. And since it's a config form, please suffix it with a CFG. You have the facility to add more than one config form at a time, and you can also add an optional description. Go ahead, click on Save All. You can see that a new config form has been created. Now, this particular tab is only for creating config form. To see the contents of the config form, navigate to the last tab, click on Attribute Value Creation. In this section, navigate to Configuration Form, and you can see the new config form created. A very important part of this is you should also know what is the ID. So the config form name and the ID is quite important as we go ahead in the course. Additionally, now we need to have some variables associated with any given config form. So with this config form, now we are going to associate a table variable. So I go back here, I go to attribute creation, configuration form, single variables. As you can see, I already have some single variables here: city, population, state, and additionally, I have one more variable called row ID. Whenever we are creating a table variable, it is advisable to include this column right in the beginning. The use of it we will see as we move further, but for now it is important to just have this column here. So here let's go to configuration form table variable, create a new variable, select the type list, city table, and we can add the columns. Like I said, city, population, state, and row ID should be there. Go ahead, click on save. So now we have a configuration form table variable called city table. What we do next is go back here, click on attribute value creation, click on configuration form. You can see the configuration form here. Now, to associate this configuration form with the table variable we just created, click on this icon. This is usually called the attach icon. And here, search for the table variable. If you remember, we had called it city table. So we are going to add this. Click on save. Now, this is the attachment icon, and this one is to actually view. So when you click on this, it will expand this section. Here you will see any single variables that are associated with this configuration form. At this point, we don't have any. Here we have table variables, and you can see there is one table variable called city table. We can click on it. We can actually add data to this table variable. When you add data to this table variable, it is, and click on save, it is actually getting stored on the backend. Please keep that in mind. So here, let us start with Nuru with a population of, I'm just assuming, this much, and in the state of Karnataka, let us have Pune in the state with a population of this much, in the state of Maharashtra, and we will have one more, which is Kolkata. In the state of West Bengal. The moment we click on save, please remember this data gets saved in the MySQL database on the backend. So right now what we have done is we have created a config form and we have some data placed inside it. This concept is important because a lot of time we use config forms to store data which we want to enter but don't actually want to give an interface. Config forms are also important to learn how to fetch data from the deep. Thank you.